Valorant has a problem. A big problem. And that's content. The content in the game sucks. There's been barely anything new that's been added since 2020 when the game released. And that's coming from someone that's been playing since beta. I've been through pretty much every meta. I've played on all sorts of ranks, not high ranks, I must say, but from Iron to Immortal. And it's boring. The game's loop gets old. You get burnt out if you play it day in, day out. After 6 months. And it needs more content. The only content that gets added on a regular basis is skins. And there's been one new gun that's been added. There's like 3 new agents and 2 new maps every year. It's not good. So I don't know why the player base has been so adamant, so viciously wanting a replay system over anything. I don't know why every single comment section under every Valorant video, every Valorant tweet, every piece of media that Valorant releases asks about replay systems and was so gung-ho on getting it. It made no sense in any way when it adds nothing. 99% of the player base, A, won't use it, or B, utilize it at all. And I think that's just a failure. I think replay systems were the least of their concerns and the least of the community's concerns, and it only affects the top tier pros. What is really needed instead to fix this content drought, to fix the player sentiment around the game, at least my sentiment, is a custom map maker or custom servers. Being able to host your own games, being able to host your own maps, being able to create your own maps in general would be a massive addition to this game. It would make it so much better. I think as someone who's played about the same amount of CS as I played on Valorant, I think taking a break from com to play Surf, to play B-Hop, anything in CS, good for A, the longevity, B, your mental health, and C, to keep players in the game. I think if you're trying to scratch an itch for competitive players, Valorant is a great game. It's made really well. The hit registry is really nice. The headshot sounds nice. Everything about it is really nice. The monetization, not so good. But most of the game is pretty good. And it encourages climbing to an extent. But I think for another itch, which is the more entertaining, fun, goofy itch, there's not really a place in Valorant for that to be scratched. And I think a custom map maker will solve that issue. It is the solution to the content drought, the entertainment drought, and bringing, honestly, a lot of the bad maps that Valorant has away from the spotlight and into community-driven maps that can be made by people who have experience, say, in CS maps, because Valorant's maps, at least recently, I think throughout the whole game in general, have been terrible. Every single map has to have a gimmick. It has to be quirky, it has to have something weird with it. But I think giving the community the ability to create their own maps would benefit, not harm. I don't think there would be any harm. I think there would only be benefits. And they never ever have to accept any community maps. They don't have to endorse them. They don't have to even acknowledge them past the point of giving the software out. Just making the ability to make maps is so much better for the health of the game. It's one of the easiest fixes to the content drought. Much easier than replay systems. I have no idea why everyone wanted replay systems when no one's going to use it except the top tier pros. No one's going to utilize it properly except the coaches. A map maker is so much more necessary, especially 5 years into the game when nothing has changed. It is so much more necessary than a replay system. But people are rejoicing. People are so happy that the replay system is almost out, and it makes no sense to me. Absolutely not. Most of the people that are asking for it are not going to use it. But instead of making the replay system with all the issues that it's had in its development process, according to Riot, they could have made a map maker. Right? Make a bare bones or polished version of the way that they create maps, hand it out to the community and let them go wild. And there's your content solved for years and years on end. Creators have been quitting left and right because there's no place for content creation in Valorant. There's no entertainment past getting a higher rank. And speaking of which, there's no reason to get a higher rank anymore. It's been the exact same reward every single episode since the game's release. Just a gun buddy. There's no reason to grind and grind and grind just to get a gun buddy. It's not fun. And seeing it 6 months later after you got the rank is also not fun. There needs to be more incentive for rewards. There needs to be more incentive for good behavior. Valorant's one of the most toxic communities. I think a mapmaker could solve that because it brings a lot of the community together around maps that will hopefully be created well. And if there's custom map making to the fullest extent, say ability tuning or gun tuning or everything, every tool in the book, miles and miles of content can be created off of that, at least in YouTube alone. But yeah, that's about it. I think the replay system is one of the worst decisions the community could have made to riot against Riot on. It should have been a map maker, and in some alternate universe it is a map maker. And as someone who likes to create maps in the different games, whether it be Fortnite, CS, Minecraft even, it's sad because Valorant has such a good art style, and being able to translate that into your own ideas would be fantastic, and being able to create better maps than Riot has ever been able to would also be fantastic. But Riot is a slow company. They don't make changes unless people absolutely hound them for it, and I think that's to their detriment. I think it's the downfall. Obviously it hasn't happened yet, but I think they need to start ramping up a lot of the community aspects of the game. I think they need to come with fresh ideas. I think just adding an agent and a map and maybe a gun once every 5 years, it's not going to solve anything. I think there needs to be a way for the community to express what they want, and Riot can implement it if they want or not. It's up to them at the end of the day, but I think it's what the game needs. Anyways, thanks for listening. Goodbye.